My name is Caitlin. I'm 42 and live in the suburbs of Minneapolis with my husband, Brandon. On paper, I'm a housewife, but behind the scenes, I'm the CEO of a medical equipment distribution company generating millions annually. My salary is $145,000, a fact Brandon doesn't know. We met at 30 at a friend's gathering. Brandon was warm, attentive, noticing small details, like how I held my coffee cup or my eyes lit up at my favorite song. I thought he was my forever. We married within a year, and at first, it felt like a blessing. But that happiness faded. Brandon's true self emerged, stubborn, dismissive. His low paying job barely covered expenses, yet he rejected my suggestions to aim higher. When my company had an opening that doubled his salary, I arranged to hold the position for him. He scoffed. You think I'm useless, needing my wife to get me a job? His words stung. I couldn't fathom how my advice became an insult. I endured, depositing $1,400 monthly into his account for expenses. He'd burn through it in weeks, complaining about costs while spending on sneakers and games. I stayed silent, too drained to argue. What hurt wasn't the money, it was his indifference. He never asked if I was tired after late nights answering emails or cross city business trips. To him, I was just a housewife living off his efforts. One day, my mother visited to help while I was in meetings. Brandon came home, tossed his keys, and muttered, "Another stranger in my house? I need peace." I snapped. "She's not a stranger. She's helping us." He shrugged. "That's your view. I have a right to feel uncomfortable." I hid my tears, feeling a crack in our marriage that wouldn't heal. Our home grew cold, our interactions forced. No more hugs or goodnight wishes, just two people coexisting. Brandon's irritability worsened. He'd snap over unfolded towels or a misplaced remote, blaming me for everything, even a broken coffee machine. I felt like a maid. One evening, after a tense meeting, he held up an unironed shirt and sneered, "Do you ever do anything right?" I laughed hollowly. I negotiated million-dollar deals yet was questioned about ironing. I swallowed my anger, knowing arguing was futile. When I caught the flu, bedridden with a fever, Brandon didn't check on me. Instead, he stood at the door. "Hurry up and get better. I don't have time to take care of you." His words chilled me. The man who vowed to walk through life with me was now a stranger. Loneliness consumed me. I woke at night wondering why I, a successful woman, stayed in this damaging relationship. I hid my pain, even from my mother, Frances, who always protected me. I told her everything was fine. But Brandon crossed the line one Saturday when she visited with stew and fruit. He sighed, "Always someone in my house." My mother, startled but polite, said, "I'm just seeing my daughter." He replied coldly, "I don't want dinner with outsiders." I walked her out, my heart sinking. In the kitchen, I confronted him. "Do you realize how hurtful you're being?" He was unfazed. "I'm being honest. That's your problem." Weeks later, I collapsed at work. I woke in the Mayo Clinic's emergency wing, an IV in my arm. The doctor diagnosed a pancreatic tumor, caught early, but requiring immediate treatment. I texted Brandon from the hospital. No reply. I called. Voicemail. I began treatment alone, my body weakening as my hair fell out. Yet my resolve didn't waver. 2 weeks later, Brandon appeared at my hospital room. Hands in pockets, eyes cold. He placed a folder on the table. "I filed for divorce. The house and car stay in my name. Fair, since I'm not sure how long you'll be around." His words shattered me, not from abandonment, but from his callousness. I nodded, hiding my emotions. "Take what you want. Thanks for coming." He paused, surprised by my calm, then left saying, "Not like you have a choice." Alone, I smiled coldly and whispered, "You just woke the real me, Brandon." I called Eric, my trusted CFO. "I need your help," I said calmly. He replied, "I've been waiting for this call. Just say the word." 3 days later, Eric visited with a briefcase. "Are you sure about this plan?" he asked. "Yes," I said, unwavering. I'd hidden my CEO role, using my mother's name as the legal representative to stay modest. Brandon never knew I controlled the contracts his company, Vitaltech, relied on. I signed a letter terminating our supply agreement, which accounted for 60% of Vital's revenue, a deal Brandon had boasted about securing, unaware I approved it. The termination hit at 8 a.m. Monday. By 3 p.m., Vital CEO called, asking why. I replied, "One of your employees, Brandon Scott, showed inappropriate behavior and misused assets." That afternoon, I filed a counter-divorce, demanding Brandon vacate my house within 30 days. I'd bought it, adding his name only to appease him. Brandon came home pale, saying, "I got laid off." I placed an envelope on the table. "I ended that contract. I'm the CEO of SilverMed, Brandon. I paid every bill, your debts, your nephew's tuition, all because I believed in love." He stammered, "This can't be real." I continued, "Divorce papers, asset terms, and your lawyer meeting. You have 30 days to move out. I'm done covering the mortgage." 3 days later, Brandon called, panicked. "I was wrong. You held everything together. I've lost the house, my job. Please, give me another chance." I listened, unmoved. "You had a decade to respect me. Too late." He pleaded, mentioning our past happiness. I cut in. "Do you remember Alyssa?" Silence. "Vital investigated. You had a relationship with Alyssa Morgan, the intern." He stammered denials. I hung up, blocked him, and emailed my lawyer for a no-contact clause and civil suit for infidelity. My lawyer, Eliza, brought screenshots of Brandon's flirtations with Alyssa, messages, hotel meetups, office selfies. I wasn't shocked, just relieved. Eliza demanded $85,000 in damages. Brandon tried contacting me, but security blocked him. I rewrote my finances, removing his expenses, and stepped back as CEO, promoting a new COO. After treatment, I moved to a lakeside house in Duluth. Simple, peaceful, mine. My final treatment ended with clear test results. I returned to work, greeted by applause and a mug reading, "Welcome back, boss." I declined date offers, needing time to heal. One evening, Eric visited my new home. "Remarriage?" he teased. I smiled. "Not now. I'm happy like this." Brandon's downfall spread. Vital's contract loss and his scandal made him unhireable. He moved to a cheap apartment, sold his car to pay debts, and worked a low-paying delivery job. Alyssa vanished, her family settling privately to avoid litigation. I stood on my balcony, feeling the breeze through my regrown hair, finally free. I'd overcome Brandon, illness, and fear. True happiness began when I chose self-respect over everything else. Caitlin's story is a powerful testament to resilience and self-discovery. Her journey from a successful yet silenced CEO to a woman who reclaims her worth is inspiring. Initially, she sacrifices her identity to maintain a failing marriage, enduring Brandon's indifference and disrespect. Her strength lies in her quiet endurance, managing a multi-million-dollar company while supporting a husband who belittles her. The turning point, her illness and Brandon's betrayal, ignites her transformation. Instead of breaking, she uses her power strategically, dismantling Brandon's false security while protecting her dignity. Her decisive choice to end the marriage and hold Brandon accountable reflects a profound shift. Caitlin doesn't seek revenge, she seeks justice, using her influence to expose his failures and secure her future. Her move to a peaceful lakeside home and focus on healing show a commitment to self-love over external validation. Caitlin's story reminds us that true strength emerges from adversity, and choosing oneself is the ultimate act of empowerment. What resonates most is her realization that happiness comes from within, not from pleasing others. What are your thoughts on Caitlin's journey? How do you view her choice to prioritize self respect? Share in the comments and follow for more stories of triumph and transformation.